Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the Nigeria Youth Organization has been speaking of its determination to take concrete steps to help address the twin problems of voter apathy and likely threat to the peaceful conduct of elections. To this end, the national president of the organization, Abdullahi Wali, has inaugurated youth mobilization teams to sensitize voters in all the 774 local government areas across the 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory. Clearview TV's Emefono Okon has the details.
Only last week, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, told the visiting special representative of the United Nations Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel, Anadit Salah, at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja, that Nigeria now has 84 million registered voters. Despite the huge voter figure, with registration of more eligible people still ongoing nationwide, there is the worry that low voter turnout may still characterize the 2023 general elections in the country. Determined to change the narrative, a group known as the Nigeria Youth Organization says it will mobilize youth across the 36 states of the Federation, including the FCT, to turn out in mass to exercise their franchise in the forthcoming general elections in the country. The organization's national president, Abdullahi Wali, says part of the group's strategic effort is to promote youth inclusiveness in public governance and accountability.
The intention is that, as you can see, the reason behind this inauguration of this committee is to see how we can galvanize support and as well mobilize more youth to make sure that they've gotten their PVCs for the general election comes 2023. And more so as well, we are appealing on the federal government to as well purchase more machines to INEC so that they'll be able to capture most of the eligible voters that are actually willing more than ever before to cast their vote.
The national chairman, Nigeria Youth Mobilization Committee 2023, Michael Nku, speaks further on measures being put in place by the organization to contribute towards ensuring the successful conduct of the 2023 general elections.
We're looking at setting up a structure of at least 27 team members in each of the 8,812 wards. And within a period of 1 month, we'll be gathering to put our database together of the names, phone number, and the voters card number of the team members across the 8,812 wards. It is this platform which we will set up across the Federation, across the villages that we have in Nigeria, that we will utilize to support whichever government would ensure that we have youth inclusiveness and good governance in Nigeria.
The Nigeria Youth Organization was officially incorporated in November 1997 under Part C of the Company and Allied Matters Act and became a trustees-based youth developmental organization on 4th December 1980. Emefono Okon, reporting for Clearview Television.
The much talked about alliance between Labour Party (LP) and the New Nigerian People's Party (NNPP) may have run into a hitch over who flies the presidential ticket of the alliance group. Presidential candidate of the NNPP, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, who gave this indication during a visit to Gombe State, said he is still consulting with his political associates across the country on who to nominate as his running mate. As our correspondent now tells us, the former two-term governor of Kano State was in Gombe to commission the NNPP State Secretariat ahead of the 2023 general elections.
The much-hyped alliance between the new Nigerian People's Party candidate and former Kano State Governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso and the Labour presidential candidate and former Governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, will be in the cooler for now, so says the presidential candidate of the NNPP.
Some of our representatives thought that there should be a criteria in terms of age, criteria in terms of qualification, criteria in terms of officers held, criteria in terms of performance, criteria in terms of so many other things, a long list. Now, of course, the other side, we don't want that. Most of the people on the other side thought that there was belief in one of the countries that the zoning, because they believe that presidency has to go there.
The candidate, overwhelmed by the support of members in Gombe State, says the party remains the party to beat at the next general elections.
So I'm very happy that I came, and I believe if there is any state that NNP will win in 2023, I believe it's on the state, because I have seen a real love for my humble self and the party.
Very much. With the crowd you see today, I'm sure is a clear indication that the people of Gombe are tired of PDP misrule and APC misrule as well.
Ahead of the deadline for the final submission for the running mate of the NNPC presidential candidate, Kwankwaso says they are still in consultation with other parties to produce a candidate that will be acceptable.
We are still flexible to get the right person. And I'm so happy that there are so many Nigerians. We have options in NNPP in the south to pick a good vice president. One of them is the Labour Party man.
For a party that says it remains the choice of the common man and the other alternative, it remains to be seen how this will translate during the general elections.
The Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has set up a reconciliatory committee to meet with Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State over the fallout of the party's presidential primary and crisis trailing the nomination of a running mate. The committee is to be headed by the party's presidential candidate and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and has 13 PDP governors as members. Chairman of the party's BOT, Senator Walid Jibril, made the announcement in a statement on Sunday, saying the visit to Governor Wike will take place immediately after Atiku and the PDP national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, return to the country from their vacation abroad. According to the BOT chairman, the reconciliatory committee will also comprise the party's vice presidential candidate, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State, as well as Ayu and members of the PDP National Working Committee. Others include former PDP governors and ministers, as well as party elders from various zones and states in the country. Senator Jibril described Governor Wike as a responsible and obedient PDP member who assisted tremendously in building the party to its present status. Ahead of the reconciliatory meeting with the governor, he appealed to the party's members in Rivers State not to leave the party and shunned comments aimed at reducing and running down the party. A man identified as Ponle Adebanjo has allegedly burnt his estranged wife to death after she left him over domestic violence. The police public relations officer, Abimbola Oyemi, confirmed the incident to newsmen. The victim, identified as Latifat, was reportedly burned to death in the Otun Akute area of Ogun State by her estranged husband. Oyemi said that the husband had been arrested since Saturday after the neighbors of the victim reported the incident to the police. Neighbors explained that the man was fond of beating the woman, at times almost to the point of death. Their fights were said to have become a community matter as the woman was hospitalized on many occasions until she decided to pack out of his house a month ago when she rented an apartment on the same streets.